All right, so I got another video for you today. I am back up in Northcentral Pennsylvania. You really can't keep me away. As I've said many times before, this is my favorite place to fish for stocked and wild trout in all of Pennsylvania. We are in the Pine Creek Valley area. Specifically, we're going to be camping out in between, at a location between Waterville and Blackwell. You can see Big Pine Creek down there looking beautiful. Love Big Pine Creek. It is late April. There were some preseason stocking efforts, and even more recently, some stocking efforts in the last week or so by the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. So Big Pine Creek should just be bubbling, bristling with stocked rainbows and stocked brown trout, as well as, you know, private clubs like the Cedar Run Tackle Shop, Brown Trout Club. They put a bunch of hundreds of larger than average German brown trout in as well. So today, we're gonna be up here for a couple days. Today, the focus is Big Pine Creek. Haven't been doing really any stock trout fishing over the past month. It's been really crazy, lots of pressure from just a lot of anglers, and I get it. I mean, it's, you know, opening day, first couple weeks. Anyway, so I may hit another tributary later this evening once I set up camp. We shall see. Anyways, we're gonna be fly fishing exclusively. You know, woolly buggers, prince nymph, pheasant tail, etc., etc. And if I see any flies hatching, obviously we'll tie on a dry fly to see if we can get into some of that. Pine Creek is running a little bit high. I mean, I guess it's normal spring flows. They had snow up here last week, which is like crazy. Obviously no snow on the water. Anyway, so we're gonna just be running and gunning, hitting a bunch of access areas on Big Pine Creek. Yep, that's real nice. Got Big Pine Creek down there looking nice. Oh, that's real nice. That's nice. All right, so I just got to my very first parking access area, public access. Pine Creek, I thought she was running high. She's actually not. She's almost at like a perfect flow. Beautiful greenish clear water. Definitely not too deep though, now that I'm getting a little bit closer. There was one other car in the parking lot for Friday morning. They're down that way in the better water. We're gonna give them some space. I think I'm at Ross Run, so it's the first leading up towards Slate Run. I got my 9-foot rod, which I barely ever use. 5-weight, got on a big indicator. Black woolly bugger to start out with. We'll probably switch to some other nymphs at some point. But yeah, we're basically just gonna fish maybe up quarter of a mile, nothing crazy, see what happens. So I carefully waded myself out right into the middle of the stream. Pretty deep. Pretty sure I have a leak in my almost brand new waders already. I can feel it trickling down my leg. That's wonderful. What's the point of getting new waders? Really, the water I want to hit's over there, but it gets a little sketchy in here, so this is pretty much as far as I'm willing to go for right now. Got my first fish, probably a nice rainbow, if I had to guess. Let's see what we got here, boys. Oh, that's what is that? Is that yeah, that's a bow. That's a bow. Let's see if we can get him in the net. Oh, he's fighting pretty hard. Oh, nope. Oh, got him. All right, we just got a cookie cutter, 11-inch stock rainbow trout. We're gonna get the woolly bugger right out of him, take a look at him, get him out of here. Awesome. Just got our first, actually that might be like a 12-incher. That's not bad. That's not a bad stocked rainbow. I'm not the biggest fan of stock trout, but when you're in a beautiful environment like this, it's a lot of fun. So let's get him right out of here. Let's get you out of here, bud. Nice 11, 12-inch stocked rainbow trout. Get out of here, bud. Get him out of here. All right, that's awesome. Woo. All right, so quick update. Worst thing in the world that could have happened. I somehow got a catastrophic rip in the back butt part of my waders. It's a huge hole. I am completely soaked. I don't know when it happened or where it happened, but fishing big pine right now with leaky waders is not good. Everything in my pockets got soaked except for my phone. So that's super beat. I'm gonna go set up my camp, try to patch up the hole as quickly as I can with the sunlight that I have. Yep, that's real nice. All right, so fast forward a couple hours, I was able to patch up my waders and get my camp set up. So yeah, my options are somewhat limited insofar as my whole day surrounded fishing Big Pine Creek, fly fishing Big Pine. Without waders, that's very difficult at this flow level. So I'm gonna try to target some somewhat smaller streams with my wading shoes and neoprene socks. It's a little bit cold to be doing that, but really that's my only option. Aqua Seal, which is the brand of wader patches that I used, says it takes 8 to 12 hours. So really I can't fish Big Pine till tomorrow. The closest smaller accessible streams are Cedar Run and Slate Run. So I am headed up to Cedar Run first. We'll backtrack and maybe fly fish Slate Run later. As you can see, heavy fishing pressure right now. Before you guys beat me up, I had an awful morning. I mean, I plan to fly fish Big Pine Creek all day, and you get a catastrophic rip in your waders. So I did bring my spinning rod. It's gonna be fine, guys. Everything's gonna be fine. I just didn't want to have to deal with fly fishing because I got my wading shoes and neoprene socks, but I know I'm not going to be able to get into as good of positions as I would otherwise. So I brought my spinning rod. It's going to be fine. Bro, why aren't you fly fishing just like I do? You should be fly fishing. You need to conform. There are just so many bugs on the water right now. I'm just waiting with like my trigger finger ready to run back to my car and get my fly rod and start dry fly fishing. But like I said, I haven't seen a single fish rise. I really just think the water temp, hence why I'm not getting any bites. I think the water temp is just still too cold. It's gotta be, based on how freezing my legs and feet are, it's gotta be, if I had to guess, like in the, look at that, it's got to be like in the low, I don't know, low 40s. All right, so still catching absolutely no fish, presumably because of the water temperature. There's tons of bugs on the water. Haven't seen a single fish rise for these hatching insects. We're just gonna keep pushing in. What I wanted to say is, if it's not in the top 5, at least the top 10, I would say Cedar Run is easily one of the most aesthetically pleasing to the eye, beautiful streams and scenery really in the entire state of Pennsylvania. I'm sure there are some that are more beautiful, but this has to be up there. I mean, the color of the rocks, crystal clear water, wild trout, beautiful environment. The wild trout population fluctuates naturally, as do all freestone wild trout populations. Some years it's better than others depending on drought and water temperatures and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just an absolutely, like, I'm probably not going to catch any fish, maybe like one. I'm still having a great time. It's really wonderful out here. I've fished cedar a couple times in this specific section. This is probably one of the biggest, deepest holes. Still not a single bite. Again, I think the water temps are just a little cold, but I'm thinking if I put this Single Barbless Hook spinner annoyingly right next to a big Wild Brown Trout's mouth, he's gonna plop it right in his mouth, just out of annoyance. That's how I usually beat people down. It's through annoyance. Got a solid brown, solid wild brown. Let's try to get him in the net. Woo, got him. All right, let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. All right, so after quite a bit of hiking, quite a bit of fishing, a lot of flies in the air. Finally got our first wild brown trout on Cedar Run. A solid, honestly solid, like 11, 12-inch fish. Beautiful colors, adipose fin. We're gonna get him right out of here. Absolutely beautiful fish, beautiful fish. Gorgeous, gorgeous Cedar Run wild brown. Let's get him out of here. So unlike Pine Creek, where I saw literally over 100 fishermen in like an hour or two, back here, haven't seen a soul. Now granted, the fishing is definitely not as hot in here, but I would take this pretty much any day than being shoulder to shoulder with people. Would like to catch one or two more though, with that being said. I just got our second, probably bigger, yeah, I'd say 12, 13-inch wild brown. We're gonna get him right out of here. Let's take a look at him quick. Ooh, ooh, that's a nice fish. Nice fish. Let's get him out of here. All right, we're just reviving this beautiful wild brown Cedar Run right in the net. Let's get him right out of here. Ooh, ooh, man, that's a nice fish right there. Let's get him out of here. Get out of here. All right, so we just got our second wild brown trout. Another really nice, healthy fish. Nothing small yet so far, so that's pretty good. I moved a couple in some of the bigger holes that I've been to. Not that they even hit my spinner, but I moved them. Some really solid, I'm gonna say, dare I say, 18, 20-inch wild browns. So they are, the myth is real. They are out here. They're just very weary and difficult to catch. So I'm pretty much rejuvenated. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to Pine Creek later today or Slate Run, but I'm having a great time in here, so we're gonna just keep pushing. Our third brownie. Let's get him up here. Let's get him in the net. Whew. All right, let's get the hook out of him, take a look at him. All right, so we just got the smallest wild brown of the day. Still beautiful, just got the single barbless hook right out of him. Right out of him. Let's take a look at him, get him right back in the water. Hold on, bud. Hold on, bud. Hold on. We got you. We got you. We got you. Beautiful reds, beautiful reds. Nice fish, nice fish. Get out of here, bud. Get out of here. So we pushed up Cedar Run, probably about 2 miles or so. It is getting a little bit later in the day. I'm going to hike back to my car. I don't know if I'm gonna, depending on how the waders sealed, I don't know if I'm gonna try to fish Big Pine later, if maybe I'll pop onto Slate Run. All right, so unfortunately, that was all we had on Pine Creek that day. I did end up, as you can see, doing a little dry fly fishing on Big Pine. I got a couple takes, couldn't land any, still had a good time. So kind of a lackluster day overall. We did manage to get a couple really nice browns on Cedar Run, but that catastrophic rip in the waders really put a dent in the day. Either way, still had a wonderful time up there, hiking, fishing, sightseeing, etc. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll catch some more fish next time.